YouTube, this is Heart of the Cards 117 with a new update of a deck profile, the Blackwing deck, in November 2014. Well, a lot of Blackwing cards were reprinted back in Legendary Collection 5Ds, which is the latest. Hey YouTube, this is Heart of the Cards 117 with another update, another deck profile, the Blackwing deck. Well, a lot of Blackwing cards were reprinted back in Legendary Collection 5Ds, which was the latest product by Konami. And even a month hasn't passed yet ever since this release. So, since a lot of Blackwing, like the most ratio was Blackwing monsters, I think, Blackwing cards from in the entire Legendary Collection. So, a lot of people will be watching this video just to see what's the best Blackwing deck they can make for this format. And here I made one. So, let's see what it is. I've been playing Blackwings for a long time now, and this deck, I can say for sure, is a really good deck. It's an X tier deck, meaning it was a really good tier deck back during 5D's era. So it's a pretty good deck even now. It can be highly competitive, considering that it's a really complicated deck to make. Okay, first of all, you need 3 Blackwing Shura, the Blue Flame. Basically, the best, it's like the ace monster of this deck. It can, if you destroy a monster with this card, opponent monster and send it to the graveyard, you can spell summon another Blackwing monster, which is 1500 or less attack, which can go for more synchro summoning or another attack. 3 Blackwing Bora the Spears. He's a really good card, extremely good card in this deck. If you control a Blackwing monster, you can spell summon him to the field, and if you have all 3 of them in the field, well, basically swarming the field. It's a really good card. 2 Blackwing Gales the Whirlwind. Gale the Whirlwind. Really good card. Extremely good card. It can get over a Stardust really easily. Alone, actually. If you control a Blackwing monster, special send him into the field. It's more swarming. 2 Blackwing Sirocco the Dawn. He's a really good. He's like basically the most powerful Blackwing monster in that can be normal summoned. His effect is really good. He can get over really powerful monsters. Really good card. 2 Blackwing Blizzard of Far North. This is basically one of the few cards that you're going to use in this deck for top decking. If you control no monsters, no hand, whatever, you draw this card. Basically, another synchro monster. You can normal summon a Blackwing, special summon a Blackwing monster from the graveyard. But the only bad part about this guy is that he can be special summoned. Of course, Blackwing. It's like the honest of the Blackwing deck. 3 Blackwing Collude the Moon Shadows. Your Blackwing monster gains 1400 attack, which can get over almost any monster ever. 1 Blackwing Breeze the Zephyr. If you add him with a card effect to your hand, you can spell summon into the field. So if you activate Whirlwind, you can spell summon into the field. 1 Blackwing Kochi the Daybreak. He's not really that good, but considering he's a level 14 monster, that can really change the game for you sometimes. 1 Blackwing Zephyros the Elite, and 1 Dead Dark Arm Dragon. This deck has a really good graveyard control, so you can basically spell summon Dark Arm Dragon pretty easily. Okay, that's it for the monster lineup. For the spells, we have 2 Blackwing Whirlwind, 3. Well, I don't run even though I have like 5 or 6 copies of this card. I don't run through. I only run 2 because it gets cloggy. If you don't draw him in the first, let's say 4 turns, it won't be really good by the end of the game. Sometimes I haven't draw all 3 at the last few turns that I need, and it turns out it's really cloggy. You have no targets left in the deck. 3 MSTs because you need a lot of backrow destroying cards in this deck. Actually, what? 3 MSTs. Sorry. 1 Allure of Darkness for the draw power. 1 Pot of Duality. 1 Book of Moon, and 1 Raigeki, because he's limited to 1, and I'm like Legendary Collection 5Ds. No, not 5Ds. Sorry, Joey's World. Better than Dark Hole in this deck, though. For the traps, first of all, Blackwing exclusives. 1 Black Delta Crow Anti-Reverse. He's like the Harpy Feather Duster for the Blackwing deck, basically. 1 Black Return. This is a highly underestimated card. Basically, whenever you summon a special summon at 1 Blackwing monster at any time, which you do a lot in this deck, you're gonna summon Blackwing monsters every single turn. Special summoning. Special summon any Blackwing monster. You can target 1 monster your opponent controls, gain life point to it according to its attack, and send it back to the hand. So it's basically a compulse and like some sort of you gain extra life points basically. And one black Sonic, extremely good card. It's not as good as Mirror Force because if you don't control Blackwing monster, it's basically useless. But if you do, banishing is way better than destroying. Get over his Beel's really good too. Even Stardust Dragon, and maybe Quasar if you already use this effect. 3 Icarus attack. Blackwings are the only deck that I've ever seen use Icarus attack. Harpies may have the potential, but they almost never run Icarus attack. Really good card though. 1 Torrential Tribute. Guess what's going back to 2 now? I just heard got the news that it's gonna go to 2. 1 Compulse. 1 Mirror Force, if somebody gets over that Black Sonic. 1 Solemn Warning. 1 Bottomless Strapple, and 1 Starlight Road, because a lot of people run Light Sworn, so they're going to destroy a lot of cards you control. Starlight Road. He activates it. Starlight Road, bitch. For the extra deck, for the extra deck, first of all, Blackwing exclusives. 2 Blackwing Armor Masters. He's really good, but he's really vulnerable to effects. Nobody can destroy this card in battle. Just saying. Really good in battle, but not really good in effect. 1 Blackwing Armwing, really good to go over defense cards, like if your opponent's stalling for the Marshmallow and stuff. Do a lot of damage to them. 1 Leo, the Keeper of Sacred Tree, because you can go for him. He's a really good card for a level 10. 1 Beel's Diabolic Dragon. Pretty self-explanatory. Invincible card, basically. 1 Scrad Dragon. 1 Stardust Dragon. 1 Black Rose Dragon. 1 Powered Zektron. 1 Ally of Justice Cataster. 1 number 16 Volcasaurus, because you're running like 3 level 5s in this deck, including Ally of Justice Cataster. 1 number 39 Utopia. 1 Ice Beast Xerophon. It has gotten me out of so many troubles. It can go over powerful monsters and it can go over Beels really easily too. 1 Wind Up Zenmains, and can go over stall cards as well, like your opponent's using Fiendish Chain. It can negate Fiendish Chain's effect, and your opponent can your monster can use basically his effect and it can attack. 1 number 17 Leviathan Dragon. This is basically all 15 cards for the extra deck. For the side deck, we have 1 Wayu the Emblem of Honor. Why I'm not using him in my extra deck is because the only synchro you can do with him is Blackwing Armwing. And it's not a really good card to put in your deck. Another Blackwing Blizzard the Far Node, because you can top deck with this guy. I told you why. 1 Crane. Easily goes for a level 6 synchro, and goes for level 3, rank 3s, basically really easily, like number 17 and Wind Up Zenmains. 1 Pot of Duality. I'm not running 2 in my main deck, is because you special summon a lot in this deck. You don't want to waste your turn just some normal summoning. 1 Dark Hole, because, pretty self-explanatory. 2 Fiendish Chain, if you go against decks that are like pretty high OP cards that you can't get over. 2 Fiendish Chains. 2 D Prisons. Really helps against Fire Kings and stuff, because even if you Fiendish them and destroy them, they come back and destroy all the cards you control, so Dimensional Prison is better. 1 Mirror Force. Another Mirror Force just in case. And 1 Threatening Roar. Well, that was it for the entire deck. One thing that I can say on this deck is that it's really good for swarming the field. Really, really good. You can actually have an OTK with this deck too if you put the right chances. Maybe second turn you can go for an OTK. Pretty good, really extremely good deck. Really fun to play. Really competitive as well. One of the few decks that have both fun and competitive to play. So I recommend playing this deck, and plus you're getting a lot of good reprints. So why not use those reprints as an excuse to make this deck? Hopefully you like this build, and watch other later views that we make for you, and hopefully you like. Well, see you in the future. Heart of Cards out.